Alrighty, show us your tips. Daggy and Beaver are back with you for a midweek preview. We've got the last stop before Cup Week, Bendigo Cup, on this afternoon. We're going to get stuck into all of that. How are you travelling, Beav?
Bloody good, mates. Going quite well. Looking forward to the coming week, I'll tell you that much. Derby Day, Melbourne Cup Day, off to Melbourne. Life could be better, mate.
100%. Weather all looks good, I think, as well. So it's all systems go.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit chilly, overcast and chilly, but that's nothing new with Melbourne. So fingers crossed that doesn't change.
Definitely. We didn't interest in getting this preview up for the punters at a reasonable time. Won't spend too long on it. But any takeaways from Cox Plate Day?
Yeah, I thought as we probably discussed earlier, I thought the Cox Plate was a bit of a farcical run race. Disappointing, actually. Didn't give too many horses that were not in the top 3 or 4 much of a chance. Slow pace set up for those that finished up near the top, and disappointing because I don't think the best horse won the race. Thought Fangirl was probably looked to be climbing all over them, and potentially with a little bit better pace and a bit clearer run. Would have been nice in the finish. My take out of it was, though, I was super impressed, which we'll touch on Melbourne Cup Day, with Gold Trip. That was a great hit out for Melbourne Cup. The way it hit the line, again, with a fast run race, I think it probably finishes much closer as well.
Yeah.
But yes, all credit to the winner. I didn't think it got there on the line, but well done. And Cox Plate for another year.
It was exciting finish, but I agree it was Jiggy Drug up front, ALB, because King Colorado did not beat Militarized home. But I thought Fangirl should have won, would have been my best result. But such is punting, especially this year in spring in Melbourne. It's just anytime you go looking away from favourites, you just get you cop a favourite at what you think on paper is probably a bit short, but they keep winning. So we're about to hit Cup Week, though, so it all changes. Tom Kitten, very impressive. Finally got a decent run race, and with even luck, blew them away. And Espiona and Ruthless Dame fought out their finish in the other key feature there, which I sort of flagged. So some nice enough results. Some tough work the rest of the day, obviously.
It was a bit all over the shop the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Skybird was
very impressive.
A huge run. So an impressive horse there.
And finally, apart from Tom Kitten, actually, we'll wait and see him in Open. I don't think the 3-year-olds are any good. I think it's confirmed. I don't think they're up to some of the other generations at the moment, but that can all change with some fresh blood. Right. You know, the 4-year-old Tom Kitten and a Cox Plate next year might be a very scary prospect. But we've got Cup Week to get into, and we've got anything else from that or from Friday night?
No, that's it, mate.
Oh,
and
cool.
Let's rip in.
Let's get to Bendigo.
Imperatrix was just amazing. So as expected.
Yep. That race was over 10 metres into that race. As soon as she went to the front, that was it.
Yeah. Good run,
but very, very impressive. I assume does she go next to Flemington Straight, the last day of Cup Week? So
hopefully.
Whatever it is, the old Patnack, whatever they call it now. Anyway, Bendigo, rail true, good track. We know we get there, nice long straight. Most horses, most of the time, get their chances. So let's kick off with a 1,400-metre maiden, where we've lost a few of the field and a few of the stronger hopes, but I'll let you have first crack here.
Yeah, I'm going for Lambay from the Wallace stable here, second favourite. Only had the one start where it was well supported and started odds on, and was only a reasonably decent effort, but that was at Crichton, and I just think the longer straight and the extra distance that Bendigo is going to be right up its alley. I think it's going to come on a lot from that, and I like it at around the $3 mark.
On top for me too, the two I was keenest to find here are the two Waller pairs. I assume he's left in his top seed now. I think Mickey D gets it sitting closer in the run. I think it's almost confined a 1-1 spot here, and if it does, I think it wins. 1,400 metres looks perfect for Mickey D, and I think it's a nice way to start the afternoon. The second is a 1,300-metre benchmark 64, and I'm going to stick with the one coming back from the black type race here in medium mogul. Had to sit wide at Caulfield and covered ground there. and now drops right back in grade. Will be on pace, if not lead this race. And I think around a $6 mark seems fair to me. So at the price, put it on top. Persian Spirit obviously looks scary. Blake Shin off a nice enough win, but it is out at Swan Hill and does have to take the next step here. And we've just seen so often of late, black type back to these midweek stuff has been a recipe for success. So that's why I'm going. How have you seen this?
Yeah, tricky race this. I think it's a little bit closer, and the market should be a little bit closer across the board with a few of these. I've gone for Rivali, number 4 from the Corson stable. Only had the one started favourite and then was put out after that, and then came back and ran really nicely in a maiden at Echuca. Finished on really well there, and I think he can run an almighty race here at $8.
Nice call. The third is a 2,400 metre benchmark 64. We've lost Cadbury Castle. Who have you found?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the last start winner in Hurricane. First 2 runs this time in were good, and then put it all together last start and won that maiden quite nicely there. Was well backed, got midfield, but finished off very nicely there. Won comfortably, and I think it can take the next step here with the extra 400 clear on top for me.
After scratching, so I'm going to elevate Mogadishu here. I liked its first time out, albeit a trash bag maiden. First time out to 2,400 metres was very impressive. Has a bit of a claim for Celine, and can roll along close enough to pace here. We're around the $7.50 mark, and it's going to run well from Hurricane. Blinkers went on, and won well last time out. 2 key hopes. Haven't gone with it with Harold the Great, but that's next best. Got a feeling now third up, Blake Shin will take it forward, and that might be the key to it improving a bit more. But at the price, Mogadishu on top for me. The fourth is a mile benchmark 70, and I'm going to again look for a bit of value here away from this favourite and put Big Brew on top, actually. I think it's been going really well. And it's been running around in some stronger stuff on the Saturday, in some of those Saturday races there. Was just nabbed by Shock 'em Over last time out. That form lines up pretty well for this. Nice enough run here for Geordie Childs. And he's on top from Tidal Force, who hasn't put a foot wrong since it's come over from New Zealand. And again, around the $5 mark. Going to play those 2 and see if we can get a result on it. Just wasn't overly enthused by the Adelaide form into this race for the favourite. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the same. I've actually gone for Lady Adelaide. I've stuck with her. Both runs in this time have been pretty good. I think now getting out to a more suitable distance of the mile, plays right up its alley. He's got the 1 gate, so the gun draw here. Third up, I've got it on top to turn the tables on Tidal Force.
Awesome. The fifth is an 1,100 metre benchmark 64. Who do you like?
Sticking with the favourite here, Material Dreams. It's only had the 2 starts and won both. And I thought they were both very good. Probably stepping up a little bit in class here, but sort of went from a maiden to an open. That's not easy to do for a young horse, and it's done that with plenty of conviction. So I think it can run well here. It's got the gun draw and got Blake McDougall on top, clear on top for me.
Yeah, terrified of it, but I'm going to make a case here, and there's another one later for one of these horses that is on the quick backup from Geelong, where they got stopped by the wind up the straight, and that's Hydro Star. I thought was wide, well, first one to hit the straight coming wide there, and you could see it really stop like a shot there. No, it hasn't won for a while, but I think this is the weakest one it's been in for a bit. Gets Jamie Mott and gets the quick backup. So, again, at a bit of value, I'm going to put it on top from Material Dreams. And dare I say, I think that's the race. I don't think there's much else here that I can make a case for at all. The 6 is an 1,100 metre benchmark 78, and we see the return of a couple of good horses here. One good horse in Rich Fortune that in a previous life has crossed the line of Benedetta and Spacewalk. And this looks like a great tick-off point for it. That being said, after I did the race, I'm putting Stombolt on top, who just off the pace, he gets complete control. I couldn't find a lot of other pressure up front, and if it gets its own way up front, Froggy will always go forward in these sort of horses. If it gets control, I think it can win. Scared of Rich Fortune, best horse, does have the apprentice and has to do it first up, but beyond that, little bits and pieces with Luna Cat and Co. But just taking on the favourite slightly based off the map. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the top three hold the key here. Rich Fortune, Stormbolt, Who Dares. I've gone for Who Dares. I think it can run a really nice race. Doesn't win very often, that's for sure. It's only won the 1 out of 13, but has raced in fairly good company last preparation behind Renault Sue down the straight at Flemington. Cause for concern, only a couple of lengths off it, and not far off Legio 10. So all of those runs are pretty good. Resumed, didn't do a lot. Was fancied in the markets, probably a little bit disappointing. That was on a soft track, gets to a good track here. Thought it could run a race in what looks to be a race in 3, but all pretty evenly matched.
The feature is the Group 3 Bendigo Cup 2,400 metres, potentially a last gasp towards something next week. Interpretations come up favourite. I'm going to let you have a first crack at this, though.
Really appreciate you doing that. That was
mainly because I don't know what to do with this favourite.
Yeah, me either. I really don't know what to do with it either. I'm going to let it go because I think just a little bit skinny for me. But then I looked through the field and went, geez, this is awful. I've come up with Luncies. I think it can run well. It's had its couple of runs back at Newcastle and Rosehill in shorter distance. It looks as though it might have been set, and this is the build-up race for this. This is not a tough field, so I thought it could run really well. Blake Shin aboard, third up, comes into this with a little bit of upside, I think, and out to the 2,400 may suit. Gate 10's okay. Hardest to beat, He's a Shocker. Has been racing in Group 1, Group 3 company against some good horses. Should now be at its peak fitness. And again, this would be a race that's been set for if it's to go any further in this carnival.
I might just get you to just double check your mic connection. You sound a little bit distorted there, but otherwise, a bit like you going around the favourite, and I'm terrified of it because it could win this by 3. Just been stuck in slow races the last 2 and not been warming up till very late. But it could get the same here, and that's why I'm looking on the map for a couple at a price, and that's Pesto and Taramansour. I'm going to back both. I think they can both lob into the first 2 or 3. Daniel Stackhouse of Taramansour in the perfect spot, come back flying, and was even really good. Now it says 5th on the 5th of 10 last time out in that Shockham over race, but was going the same pace the whole way, just outspreaded late. I think this is now perfect for it. So, for the sake of the number, putting 12 on top from number 11, Pesto, bouncing off a win, first time in Melbourne, or back to Melbourne. And now they're going to be my 2 best results, really. I've lost everything else. Would have loved to have declared Miramasa, would have loved to have spoken about Speak, but going to play those 2 at the each way price. The 8th is a benchmark 70, 1,300 metres. And as close as I can get to probably stamping a good hope on this card, it's going to be his favourite, Jimmy Star. 2 nice wins, albeit at Big SP last time out in New Zealand. Brought straight over here to the Mar Eustace stable, and they found Blake Shin straight away. It's on top from the prodigal son, who was very brave last time out, sitting wide there. Now gets Ollie back on. Last time he was on, he won in town at Flemington, so around a $6 mark, clear danger. In a fairly straightforward race to me. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I thought the same. Pretty keen on Jimmy's Star. As you said, straight to Mar Eustace. Blake Shin aboard here. Drawn a little bit wide, but they'll probably be able to scoot forward there and or get in the running line. And I think it looks hardest to beat.
Excellent. Let's wrap up the day with the 1,400 metre benchmark 78. A lot of this feed through the, what are they called in Melbourne? The Midway Melbourne races on the Saturday. Well, who have you found?
Well, it's hard to go past the favourite here, given carried 62, started favourite and was a couple of lengths behind Skybird. That's pretty good form for a race like this. It's only had the 6 career starts, 2 wins and 3 placings. And the only time it had excuses in a listed race at Bendigo last preparation where it tailed off. But outside of that, all its form's been pretty good. I think you'll find this is winning gate 1.
I think Ollie leads as well, just in case you're worried. On top, I think the danger's First Mate, who's fresh, off some nice stuff. Last prep does lose Blake Shin, though. And Belthul, who's come back in good order this prep and is off a nice enough win. But is it me? The map swayed me. I sort of wanted to take it on, but I think it just gets an absolute picnic up front. For ProGetRacing.com.au, who's your best and value on Bendigo Cup Day?
Yeah, my best is race 8, number 8, Jimmy's Star. And my value is race 2, number 4, Rivali.
I'm going to make my best. That's a good question because the ones I was keenest on are all out. Let's go with race 1, number 9, Lambay, as my best. And my value is in the cup, race 7, number 12, Taramansour. And we've got to head up to Kenzo with the later start there now. Now we're into summer, 2 o'clock start at the Randwick Kensington track where the rail moves into the 2. We're going to have a dry track. A little bit scared, like it has been of late, that we're going to be on pace. But let's see how that plays out throughout the afternoon. I'm going to kick off with a maiden over 1,400 metres. Probably kick off with a winner in Mogway. Had a feel for it coming into this prep. Great run behind a horse that went on to black type on the weekend. Gate 2 shouldn't be far away and should win this from Keeniology, who will lead, going well and has the map favours here. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into this. I think the 5 Mogway wins this and wins quite comfortably.
The second is 1,100 metre maiden. We've lost one of the key chances. Who have you found here? Another short price blue colours horse.
Yeah, I think it's hard to go past. Trialled well enough. Bring it straight to town here. That's a good line. McDonald on board. That suggests to me that this thing is ready to go and going to give you a good start.
The market's found the 2 key ones. 5 from 9 from me. I don't know if I'll bet because Ragga Ragga has trialled well and could lead this. So probably a watch and learn race, but 2 from 2 for the blue to start the day wouldn't surprise me. The third is a benchmark 72, 1550, and I think we can dive into this favourite again. Petersham heavily backed off some nice lead-up stuff. Last time out, missed a start, sat wide, still nearly won. I think from gate 2, if it jumps, it'll blow these away. This is an average 72, and if Tim Clark does get control, it might have a few tricks, this horse, but if all things go to plan, I think it wins. Anything to add?
No, I think that's about right. Same. Was backed off the map last start and missed the kick, but still nearly won. Probably just controls this. I don't think the same thing will go wrong there. Waterhouse has the second favourite, but I think this one will win.
The fourth is 1,800 metre benchmark 72. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going number 7 here, the Englishman, third up. Was a nice run last start. Second behind Desi Emperor, got back in the field, worked to the line nicely, just missed. Wouldn't need too much further probably to win that race. I think the extra 200 metres suits here, extra fitness under its belt, third up, got it on top.
I went looking for the 2 Waller runners that are on the quick backup here, and have ended up with Yeti Moves on top. 7-day backup was quite good last week, chasing a decent enough 3-year-old in Matusalem. And it just had a bit of traffic issues up the straight. Clear array here, I think probably even finds itself in the first 2 or 3. If it finds itself there, I think it'll win. From the stablemate Lyrical Gangster, who's also well backed, but just flopped out the back and didn't do a lot. This might be go time. And you've made the case for the Englishman, but so is the market. I thought it came up a bit short early, and it's probably the right price now. So that's all fair enough. The fifth is 1,000 metre benchmark 72, and I'm hoping J-Mac is positive here on the favourite in Valiancy. I thought the 2 trials this time in haven't been asked to do a lot, but just trucked around quite nicely under its own power, and has a decent Saturday run last prep where it chased Cruel Summer. Before that, beat Who Dares, who we'll see later on, down at Sandown. I think that all stacks up pretty well here with James McDonald on, and I just wasn't that keen on the other favourite, Gilmore. So I would make the main danger Disneck. At least went away, had a win out at Hawkesbury. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a good little win by Disneck out of Hawkesbury there. Comes back here, went and got the kill. So I think you're right. I think definite chance. I've gone for Gilmore. I'm just going for the horse that's up and going. Was nice at Canberra and then came out and won well last start. It gets a 3 kilo claim here, so it's getting 4.5 kilo pull in the weights, and it's just drawn underneath the favourite. So I think it probably leads and controls the race, and that might be the telling factor at the end, was the 4.5 kilo pull and the slight better barrier draw. But time would tell, and just slightly better in the market.
The 6 is 1100 metre benchmark 72. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this was a really tricky race here. Didn't know a lot what to do here. I've gone for Queen of the Mile from the Freedman stable at $8. Won the first 2 this time in. Third up here, and it just seems to be building nicely. That's quite a good win last starts when it was second up. Boxed on nicely at Hawkesbury when it was well backed. This is an open race, and it gets its chance again to win another one.
I just came up with the leader here. I didn't quite know what to do either, but it found Rocketeer Girl. Has shown some pace both its trials back. It was a bit green in its last one, but I think Kenzo back home along the rail there, if it is, unless there's any crazy outside fence bias, I think it's going to give you a nice sight here. Money's come for it this morning too, actually, just looking at this. It's on top from Queen of the Mile, who comes to town at the right time, and now we've lost the other couple. They're the main ones I've got to talk about. The last is a 1400 metre benchmark 72, and I'm particularly keen on this horse. Talked myself into it in Tavi time. I think the trials have been really nice this time in. Last time had a couple of very nice wins out wide. Came to Canterbury, won well. Beat Queenmaker, who's gone on to better things from there. Went to Queensland, ran well behind a horse that's got some decent Queensland form in red top, and just finds a lovely race. On top for me from Famous Progel, who's going well and might now lead this race with a couple of scratchings. Very keen to take on his favourite, and very keen to declare that Tavi Time has more ability than we've seen yet. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, mate, same. Really like Tavi Time as well. I thought it was a progressive horse one last time in, and you're right, it's progressed nicely. It was good up in Queensland, as you've highlighted here, and he had the 5 starts, 3 wins. So this is a nice place to resume, and gate 4 is perfect. So got it on top, and think it's a nice way to finish the day.
Awesome. It's the way I'm going to finish the day, because I'm going to make race 7, number 3. We'll tie it into race 1, numbers 5. But race 7, number 3, Tavi Time, my best on the card. Where I find some value, I'm not quite sure, because it's a tricky day to point too much out. Perhaps if you're looking to get, don't really have much value. I think apart from that, I think race 4, number 8, Yet He Moves runs well, and I think race 5, number 3, Valiancy runs well. I think it's a good little betting card. Do you have anything of value?
I think that is a good little betting card, to be honest. I think you can get some nice winners early and set you up for later in the day. I'm going race 3, number 6, Petersham as my best bet. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 1, Queen of the Mile.
Perfect. Much happening in Queensland?
There's a little bit happening in Queensland. I've come up with a couple up there. So I'm just going to drag them out for you. I do like race 4, number 3, Daytona. And race 5, number 4, Katima.
Perfect. That's our look through Bendigo Cup. Good punning this afternoon, guys. We'll be back. It's all ahead of us now. We're into Cup week. We'll be back Thursday night to get stuck into Derby Day. Sunday night to get stuck into the Cup. and hopefully next Wednesday night again to get stuck into Oaks Day before we get to the last day, Champions Stakes Day, whatever it is. Yeah, enjoy the trip, Beaver. I'll see you before then, actually. But good punting today. Take care, guys, and bring on the cup, eh?
Looking forward.